Gen Z, which you talk about, is missing is they do not talk about their problem. They think the social media is their family. Social media is generating a lot of mental pressure on them. Think wisely what you're putting it on the social media. How will it affect you? If there is a good, you cannot ignore the evil. Especially when it comes to the mental harassment and the cases which is happening, fraud cases,
cyberbullying and trolling.
Yes, the biggest problem in India is that we are not aware about our rights. There's a proper cyber cell made by the Indian government to you, and trust me, they work wonders. If you are not willing to go to a police station, you can simply log into the government police station site and you can log in your complaint. कईयों को नहीं पता कि cyber cell है कहाँ. It's nowhere. Just go to a police station. Cyber cell आपको हर police station में आपकी cyber complaint लिखी जाएगी. These metro cities are somehow saturated now. There is a larger audience waiting for them to be explored in your tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Average salary of a good influencer with more than 1 lakh or 2 lakh followers with an engagement rate of 50 or 60% can easily earn up to 5 lakh rupees per month.
Hi, I'm Vijay and you're watching Ritam. Today we are going to talk about all things social media. How is it impacting our lives? How it is affecting our mental health? And if you want to make a career in social media, how can we do that in 2024? And to discuss about that, today we have with us Divya, who is a social media expert and also Director of H2O Communication. Thank you, Divya, for joining us.
Thank you, Shreyas, for such a wonderful introduction.
So, Divya, earlier social media was, initiated with an idea that to connect people, to communicate with people. And in last few years, we have seen that it has changed completely. It has turned into something else. From connections to it has now become a tool for marketing and branding. So how do you see that shift?
See, you are very much right. When the social media initiated, it was perceived as a communication sector only. But everybody has forgotten the fact that communication is the key for any of the branding or taking out your message to the wider audience. So there, social media played a very important role. So people very soon, the marketing people or the branding people, they have realized the importance of taking out their communication to a wider audience without spending too much of money. Because if you look at the traditional marketing methods you have, be it branding in the train or billboards or whatever, they used to be very expensive tools. But now social media, within a very like 1/10, I would say even 1/100th part of the cost you spend on a marketing, you can reach out to a wider audience.
Exactly.
Be it your Insta or your Facebook or LinkedIn, everybody understand what is the importance of this being present. Even if it's a very small, if you'll say a very small trading company or maybe a small shop owner, he also knows how to promote its brand through social media. Now they don't, it has social media has somehow reduced the gap between the consumer and the brand. Now even a layman person, a common person like you, me, you easily take out our offerings to a larger set of people who we want to reach out without spending any money.
Okay, so what are the strategies that one should have to promote their brand or promote their product on social media?
The basic rule of social media is to be in the trend, to see what is happening around. For example, if you talk about Instagram, so there is no set rule as such that this will make you successful or this will make you, you'll probably fail also. But what is important is that you are creating a content which is reaching out to a wider audience, which is for them it's easy to understand. Social media is not just restricted as a learning tool or entertainment medium. Everybody wants to educate. So and there is no set pattern that how will you succeed. Some things you may like, I might not be happy about it. So I will watch the reels which is connecting to me. So it's important that you generate variety of content. As a layman, if you talk about you want to bring your brand to a wider audience, one thing is definitely to create the variety of content. Second is, nowadays what have been noticed is that the concentration span of people is time is restricted to maybe 4 or 5 seconds. So getting attention of somebody within that 5 seconds is a challenging task if you look at. So what is important is that you work more of interactive videos. Nowadays interactive videos is such a rage. You have seen the short reels, you have seen people doing something within the 10-15 seconds to grab your attention. Nobody has time to read it out. Nobody has time to just look at the pictures and move forward. And third thing which people are yet to see, but for that you probably need the expert advice, is the artificial intelligence softwares.
Okay.
Nowadays AI is something which has changed the entire perspective of social media.
How's that?
So if you look at earlier, I mean, if just to put an example, you and me are talking, but what if I'm not available, but I have a digital avatar of mine talking to you and giving the interview? So nowadays, everybody has understood that the time is the essence. Time is money. So people are investing in the digital avatars because they understand they cannot be omnipresent. They cannot be everywhere. So digital avatars is something which people have not yet seen. So they are also eager to find out what kind of content that can be created. And also one more thing as a trend I have noticed is that a lot of brands have realized that the potential of social media is not just restricted to your Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, and maybe Twitter or X or Threads. Twitter, I'm sorry, it's not Twitter anymore, but X or Threads. There is a larger audience present in the Tier 3 and Tier 4 cities. I mean, I don't know even if you have heard the names of such places like Chamarajnagar or Kotyapur, but they have the kind of audience which probably is the best for your brand.
I think you're right about that, because earlier we used to see that only educational content or informative content, or you can say intellectual content, used to work on YouTube or social media. But now people are even watching the farmer working in the farm.
That's why I said social media is not just now restricted to an entertainment tool, marketing tool. It's more of an educational one. When we were talking about these apps, you won't believe the apps like Moj or a Trail, they generate the content in the regional languages, because people like you and me probably can speak in English. We can speak in, probably I know French. I can talk to you in the French also. But what if the people, they do not understand those languages? So the apps like Moj or Trell, they are in the regional languages. These metro cities are somehow saturated now. There is a larger audience waiting for them to be explored in your Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities.
So this whole influencer culture started around before COVID. Like even before COVID, it was not that much in the space. Like it took off around 2018 or 19, I think, and it took a lot of time to convince people that it can be an actual career.
Yes, absolutely. If you look at tech gurus and Gaurav Taneja, who they were. They were just us influencers some time back. Now they are the celebrities. I mean, I don't want to name a lot of them, but things have changed. People who got into this industry, they have the early mover advantage with them. Now everyone is a content creator. Everyone is an influencer. Everybody wants to bring something.
Look at Bhuvan Bam. He has become a celebrity now.
So you never know what will go viral, what will touch the nerves of people. That is the magic of social media, because all your algorithms, all your trends, all your observations, of course, they will help you in a certain way, but you never know what will hit the audience. Audience itself is so unpredictable. You and me talking something more sensible might not interest a certain set of people, but you and me dancing on a song will immediately become a viral because they liked it. So you never know what audience is thinking. But of course, as a content creator, it is very important to understand that which genre are you catering to. Nowadays, this is like a problem which I face with the influencer fraternity. No offenses to them, because they're doing a wonderful job. They are bringing, business to even small. I'll take an example of a hotel probably. There is a very small boutique property probably in Shimla or in who not even have a website. But just because an influencer has put the place in a very beautiful manner, everyone is going there. It has become a rage, and everybody is posting pictures.
Look at the current controversy around Lakshadweep.
You have seen the results, how but we don't know the actual numbers, but I really believe that Maldives was hit because of the things which has been put it on the social media. And
exactly.
it become viral. If you see the things which they have said in certain way, they also took the social media route. They have not gone through a TV channel or probably this press release. They just go there and put it something on social media. And trust me, this is one place which is very unforgivable. What once you have posted, no matter if you have removed it, somebody must have taken a screenshot, or it will be there. It will be circulated. No matter how much you try to stop it, it's there. So this industry, per se, has been has developed with leaps and bounds. It has grown exponentially very well. If you see the numbers, if you see the kind of people who are opting it, though it's still not recognized as a career, but in the next 2-3 years, you will see it as a proper influential career where parents are telling their children, okay, you can earn more. You have something substantial, you have something.
I think this has changed a little bit, because earlier people who used to be on social media, used to have a perception like, chal YouTube karta hai, ye to aise hi dance karta hai.
Absolutely.
But now it has changed a lot.
People are putting hard work into this. अगर आप देखोगे पहले जब कोई इन्फ्लुएंसर कुछ पोस्ट करता था वो कुछ यूनिक होता था. अभी क्या है, people spend a lot of time. They spend time in thinking what they have to create, what will interest the audience.
This whole social media and YouTube thing has decentralized the,
Absolutely. Can you imagine 5 years back or 10 years back, you were telling your parents that you want to be an influencer? Will they ever agree with you?
No.
Average salary of a good influencer with more than 1 lakh or 2 lakh followers with an engagement rate of 50 or 60% can easily earn up to 5 lakh rupees per month.
Okay, with just views or brand promotion, how does that work?
It works in both the ways. Okay. The brand promotion also, and also if you know, these social media channels also pay.
You were saying that people who have started earlier have now become celebrities and all. They have created a niche for themselves. But what about people who want to start now in 2024?
Think differently. Think out of the box. Out of the box, don't even think there is a box. Think something which you have not imagined. Something, everybody is looking for creativity. I'll be honest with you, nowadays when I see so many things, it's very difficult to grab a hold of 5 seconds में आपको क्या चाहिए, वो आपको समझ में आना चाहिए. If you look at the influencer, they should absolutely know what audience is thinking and create जैसे कहते हैं ना variety of खाना भी रोज आप दाल चावल नहीं खा सकते हो. You need a variety. So now every influencer should think from that perspective कि मुझे कुछ अलग लेके आना है. You never know on what day what trend is working. What song probably has maybe a set of audience who's coming on a certain time period is not the one you are looking. आप आज viral नहीं हो रहे, एक हफ्ते बाद viral हो सकते हो. Don't fall in, a victim to the wrong practices. Think wisely what you're putting it on the social media. How will it affect you? Second thing, if something is not working, do not get demoralized, because that is something which is now, एक observation भी कह सकते हो, एक study कह सकते हो. Social media is now creating a lot of mental issues with the people. So do not fall a victim for such things where something has not worked and you are broken and you do things which is not good for yourself and your family. Content generation is important. अच्छा content generate करना is important. Bringing money to your family through social media is also equally important. But at the same time, it is important that you understand there will always be a fall, there will always be a rise. Algorithms को हमेशा check करो. So it's very important to observe the numbers. You always have your back-end support, and social media is all about experimenting. You never know what will get successful. So keep on doing the experiments. क्योंकि आप जब वो experiments करोगे, आप कुछ post करोगे, आपको back-end की पूरी information मिलती रहेगी. आप उससे observe करो. I will say it's like maths. You have to observe what is happening, how audience is reacting to your post, what kind of engagement you're getting for a particular reel or a post you are making. Then observe what was good in that. If something has not worked, what was bad in that. And if you are not able to do, ask somebody who is there with you. So observe what is trending. Keep yourself updated with what is happening around. Especially knowledge is the key for success. So make sure that you are updated with what is happening around, the trends, and of course the numbers will always be correct.
People are creating very good content, but still they're not getting views and followers.
It happens because maybe you have not used the right hash key.
Okay.
Maybe the content which you have generated is too sophisticated for certain audience to understand.
All
Or
right.
maybe the timing is wrong. You never know what time the audience is picking up of what content. For that's the reason I've been telling that keep on studying. There are certain tools which give you information about what is trending, what kind of keywords have been generated. Like for Google display and all, how this works. It's totally work on what are the top 20 key search words.
So how should they decide that? How should they choose the platform for their content?
That's absolutely upon individual to individual. If you like traveling, because see, until unless you yourself is happy about certain things, you would not like to post it. So आपको ये नहीं सोचना कि audience को मुझे please करना है. आप खुद को पहले please करो. That's more important. So if you are satisfied and you put in something, it shows on your face. You're happy. People see that you are happy. So do what is you think is right for you. Do not fall into the rat race. You are creating a fashion content. Okay, let me also become a fashion influencer. No, it's not right. You think from the perspective that what is not available into the market and what I have unique about myself which I can present. Because social media में अगर आप बात करो तो social media में आप अपने आप को बेचते हो, अपने आप को एज अ ब्रांड बना के मार्केट में लेके आते हो. Then some other brand will put their money on you. Especially in social media, there's a cutthroat competition. Every damn person you can think is nowadays an influencer or a social media. There is travel. Maybe if you look at travel, there are 200 or 300 plus or maybe more than that people who are creating content. Cooking mein har koi, in fact finance, you know the finance with Sam, the way he tells you about the financial community in a very nice manner, you get connected because he's telling you something which you've never heard of. So similarly, just find out what is your specialization, where you can bring change.
So when does YouTube or Instagram decides that this is the video that I want to show on this person's feed? When does it begin to show your video? How does that happen?
Once you become a little popular, spend certain money, of course.
Sponsoring.
Some sponsored content as well. And nowadays, nowadays brand to understand what is the paid influence, paid subscriber or the followers, what are the actuals one. So I know it's the difficult route to get the organic or a non-organic followers and a subscriber, but try to be as original as you can be. Then it's better, you will get the organic ones who are actually interested in your channel. But of course, sometimes to give a boost, you have to go to the paid route also. So people who are just entering, if they are very confident about their content creation and they know that people will get engaged, they can try for the organic. But if it's not helping, sometimes taking a help from the paid followers or subscribers just to get the numbers, it's also not very wrong, I would say.
Do brands also consider the subscriber count?
Of course they do. Of course they do. If they are looking out to reach out to a wider or a longer, more people just to grab the eyeballs and just to be there, then they don't look at the engagement. But there are certain brands who want to connect with the right audience, or it's a very niche, niche audience for them. For them, engagement probably will be more important as compared to the numbers. For example, biofuel industry. Biofuel is something which, as a layman, I don't think everybody is aware about it. What is the term, how it works and all. But there is a certain number of people who are probably the business people or the farmers who have certain things to cater to this industry. They will not be going to a person who's just putting biofuel, but he's not showing something concrete. तो उसके लिए वो खराब content है. तो आप हो सकता है एक ऐसा probably a person जिसके 15,000 फॉलोवर्स या सब्सक्राइबर हैं, बट वो बायोफ्यूल इंडस्ट्री के बारे में बहुत नॉलेजेबल कोई चीज बता रहा है. सो इफ यू विल सी, देयर विल बी नंबर ऑफ एंगेजमेंट टू दैट पर्सन फॉर सब्सक्राइबर्स, बट दैट एंगेजमेंट वुड बी अ niche one, the classy one, something which a brand probably like to focus.
How do you think social media has impacted not just our online interaction, but in a broader way to our society also?
I would say social media has become everything for the society, as well as for not just the marketing, but as our lives also. It is a very important part. No matter who you are, where are you going, what are you dressing, what are you doing, what are you eating, everybody wants to put everything on social media, because for them that is the way they are. Sometimes it's good because you want to stay connected with the people you have not met for lives. Like I also have probably relatives who I have not seen for 15-20 years. But they are connected with me on social media. I want to tell them what is happening in my life. They want to tell what is happening in their life. If we are talking about the good part of the social media, we should definitely look at the negative side of it. Also, so the positive part of social media is that it gives you the connectivity. It gives you, take you to the people or the places which was not possible before. And you become more aware, you become more understanding, you become more knowledgeable for that matter. Things are there at your palm. I mean, आपके हाथ में आपकी दुनिया है. But the negative part of it, you are exposing too much yourself to the people. There are the repercussions of being too much to be there on the online space. कहते हैं, like as it says that if there is a good, you cannot ignore the evil.
Of course, yeah.
So with the social media, the good part is that you have reached out to the people, but the negative part is you're too much there. You have overexposed yourself. Nowadays a lot of cases
seeking validations on social media.
Absolutely, we want that. We want everybody to like our pictures. We want everybody to say certain things. Nowadays, you have a lot of cases where the teens have committed suicide. They have cut on their threads because they have not get enough likes. They are not seeing people talking about them. So this is, and of course, social media is generating a lot of mental pressure on them. For them, apart from, of course, parents pressurize their kids for the study. But apart from the studies, if you look at even a second or a third year, small kids are hooked up to the social media channels.
Even they have become influencers.
Their parents have become influencers for them.
Yeah.
I personally am very much against of kids being exposed to such, wider.
It takes a toll on their mental health. Like
of course, they become mentally very disturbed at times because this person has not commented. Am I not looking good? Am I not good enough for this? So these kinds of questions, they themselves, as a generation, we have started asking ourselves.
So I think people are connecting through social media, but in a very superficial manner. They're becoming more
how many of them, if you are actually in a problem, how many of them will reach out to you? There are the good things, a good side of social media, but there is also a negative side to it, especially when it comes to the mental harassment and the cases which is happening, fraud cases,
cyberbullying and trolling.
Yes. Because your entire data is available for them. Your picture is there. Anybody can forge your picture, and now with the digital avatars.
So what do we do then?
See, the biggest problem in India is that we are not aware about our rights. We don't. Whenever anything happens on social media, we think, okay, it's our fault. Now, तो ये पूरा viral हो गया. अब क्या होगा?
Yeah.
It's not like that. You always have a way out. There's a proper cyber cell made by the Indian government to you, and trust me, they work wonders. We have a perception of, as a common person, we are hesitating going to the, police station and talking about it. But government has worked a lot into the sector, and I would say that. You have cyber cells. If you are not willing to go to a police station, you can simply log into the government police station site, and you can log in your complaint.
Okay.
You can be an anonymous user also. At times you are really caring about your identity. You can put a thought. You can put it across that I don't want my identity to be known. So you will be kept under the dark. So they are very sensitive nowadays. अगर मैं इंडिया की बात करूँ, हम कितना इंडियन पुलिस की बात करेंगे तो आपको जो हेजिटेशन है, it's not always true. They are ready to help you. They are ready to hear you. Earlier आपको पुलिस स्टेशन जाके FIR लिखवानी पड़ती, आप घर बैठ के लिख सकते हो. And then you have those cyber cells. It's not necessarily that कईयों को नहीं पता कि cyber cells है कहाँ. It's nowhere. Just go to a police station, cyber cell, आपको हर police station में आपकी cyber complaint लिखी जाएगी. If you cannot do that, you can go online, log in, and you can do. And apart from that, even if you don't know what are your legal rights, there is a free legal counsel who is present who can advise you what can be done in any case of fraud or something like that. Yeah, so cyberbullying ke against me, you have a lot of legal rights available for you. It's just that if you do not have a knowledge, you can ask the right person and you'll get it. And for that also, by the way, you have a lot of social media channels who give you such free education about your legal rights. Yeah.
So why do you think that this trolling culture has, taken over the entire social?
Because you get affected. Like if somebody's trolling you, it puts the negative impact on a mental health of yours. But if you are mentally very strong, you are satisfied within yourself, I don't think these trolls will ever matter to you. Yeah. Just imagine you are sitting here, a person sitting in some weird place and talking about, okay, you never know what is happening with him. He probably is not in the right mood, or probably he just had a bad fight at his home. He has to take out his frustration. Where will he do that?
People are taking out that
He'll
frustration
just go on your
social media and others'
because he himself is not capable enough.
To
at least to come out. Yeah. So what he will do? He will badmouth about you. I really feel that it's a pity that we have started taking things very seriously. I remember I'm not that old, by the way, but in my time, the most important time used to be with the family.
Yeah.
We used to talk. When we were eating, we used to talk and communicate with each other. But now with the emergence of social media, we have somehow, कहते हैं ना कि जब चीजें आपके relations दूर हो गए हैं social media में.
Even if
you are sitting, we are talking, we are there on
their phone. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And people cannot even eat their food without watching Netflix and Prime.
Absolutely. So that's what I'm saying. The good part of social media is that it has connected you with the people. It has bring your relations probably closer in the artificial world, not in the real world. Yeah. Nowadays, शादी के invitations घरों में नहीं आते हैं, वो WhatsApp पे आते हैं, and people send through Swiggy or whatever it is. So emergence of social media has educated us and bring a lot of things, make us more knowledgeable. But at the same time, it has disconnected ourselves. So I think that is one thing this generation is, the Gen Z which you talk about is missing, is they do not talk about their problem. They think the social media is their family. They want them to answer all their questions. But the fact is, there are a few things, like you rightly said, we need the validation, but we need the validation from our family, from our friends who are
when
actually
we see it from strangers.
Why we need it from the strangers? So when this trolling culture, and I was just watching this interview of Richa Chadha, she very rightly pointed out, he superficially named चिंटू चंडीगढ़ में बैठ के तुमने छोटी स्कर्ट पहनी बात कर रहे. How does it matter? How does it matter? I know what I'm doing. I know my parents know what I'm doing. I'm not answerable to the world. I'm only answerable to myself. So he might have his own frustrations to take out somewhere, and you are an easy target because you are there on social media. You are in a public space.
So when does this engagement thing, turn into obsession or addiction?
There is a very thin line for that.
Yeah.
You never know when it will happen. So suppose you have kept a time for yourself of 15 minutes. If you're not that strong and you're seeing the content, sometimes these 15 minutes turn into an hour.
Yeah.
And after that, an hour become 2 hours or a 3 hour. It becomes an obsession by that time. It is very difficult that time to break that chain. So it's very important, the moment you realize you're spending on your normal life less and social media पे आप ज़्यादा जा रहे हो, I think उस time पे you need to realize that it can soon become your obsession. So especially with the youngsters, it's very important for them to engage in the physical activities, do some sports, do some things to take care of their mental health. जो भी पसंद है आपको, योगा पसंद है, स्पोर्ट्स पसंद है, डांस पसंद है, invest time there. Invest time with your loved ones, because social media will connect you to the people who are probably not there with you at the time you actually need them. They are there, they can take care of you, they probably send you money or in your bad times, but they will not be physically present with you. So make sure whosoever is there with you, you are up and close. Social media is an important part you cannot ignore.
Where do you see the future of social media heading in upcoming years?
Oh, it's I would say that it's definitely very bright, but it's like, of course, it's my own personal prediction that whatever starts has to come to an end. So it might be a bubble. In another 4-5 years it will burst. There will something else will take over, maybe the artificial intelligence or something like that. Metaverse will happen. But as of now, for the next 2 years, it's going to boom for sure. Be it the career or be it the influence in the market, social media is there to stay for some time for sure.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for talking to us. It was very insightful conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.